Namaste, gentle lions. Welcome to our Monday flow together. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you're having or are about to have a nice, peaceful Monday. So, we are going to do today a side flow, which basically means we'll be facing to the side today. So, kind of based around Prasarita, that wide angle stance. And that just means that things might be a bit simpler. We might move into immediate counter poses, and it might just refresh our perspective on the mat slightly. So simple flow, but a medium strength flow. So if you're dealing with anything, just take it really easy, or when in doubt, just take rest. So we're not going to start at the front of the mat today, but your device might be here if that's your setup. We're going to start to the side, but feet are around hips distance apart. So let's just take a moment to get in the body. So a little rinse of each ankle. Maybe the breath clears or starts to deepen just by a bit of self-care. And bring the feet to that hips distance, wiggle the toes. Wiggle the fingers. Just land the feet, shake out the arms. A little rinse, particularly the wrists. And then just a couple of wraps of the shoulders back and down so you're feeling your way into the neck. And then we're going to bring a breath in through the nose and open the mouth to clear that breath out. Creeping the left hand to the upper chest and right hand to the belly. Just start to settle your feeling. So whether we're coming from our night's sleep or we're coming from our day so far, we're just coming into the present moment. We feel the breath moving under the hands. You might notice the light outside your closed eyes. Find something to enjoy, whether it's just this feeling of taking these few moments of quiet, or whether you can actually hear some nice nature, birds or leaves outside. Just choosing to enjoy this moment in some way. Breathing in, breathing out, just let your arms softly drop to your sides. We're going to open the arms and encourage the breath to come in a little deeper, palms face up. And then just push your palms gently to your sides, expanding the chest and the shoulders. Breathing out. Your next breath in, turn the palms face up, lift through your rib. And the next breath out, let the palms drift back down towards the belly. And really take your time with this breath out. Let it be long. Breathing in, palms face up. And then out to your sides as you breathe out. Inhaling, rise those palms. Feel length in your whole body. And then palms face down over the shoulders. And let's just take a couple more. Really enjoy it. Palms face up. Out. In and up. And floating down. One last round. So we're going to start to bring an easygoing breath in and out of the mouth. And then just step your feet a little wider, step your right foot out. And then just bring your right arm up. So you've got a little side stretch through that right side of the body. And then just let that rising arm fall in front of your face and step into your left foot. And just draw the left arm up. So we've got a bit of a side stretch. And we're going to ease into that, breathing each side. And then just kind of get into it. There might be like a small area through the ribs or the back of that shoulder blade for you to enjoy. And just take your time. Last 2 and 1. Inhale, start to take the arms up wide, step your feet back to hips distance. And then we're going to exhale, prayer position all the way down in front of you, like a slow chop forwards to fold. So you're coming almost through Utkatasana all the way down. Taking your hands to each elbow, take a little shift of your shoulders down in Ragdoll. Maybe that's bouncing as well, slightly side to side. One last deep breath in. Deep breath out to release the arms. So let's kind of come into a bit of touch, a bit of contact. Hands just moving onto your toes. Especially if those toes are cold, just give them a little rub. And then we're just going to softly slide the hands up the feet, the shins, as we bend the knees. Just like you're rounding your spine, and we're just going to slide the hands up the knees, the thighs. All the way either side of the hips and the ribs. Back of the head. And then I'd like you to maybe even grab your hair, or even at the roots of your hair, just take a little rise so you're standing that tiny bit taller. So depending on if that's comfortable for you, just kind of rising, giving the scalp some energy, and then taking the arms up and into the air. Exhaling to open the shoulders, hands up around your shoulder height. So we're going to step the feet super wide, Prasarita, and turn everything towards the front of your mat, so everything towards your right. So both feet are on the balls of the foot, parallel, and then we're just going to find our way to twist. Right hand back, left hand forwards. Breathing in, breathing out. So we're getting a sense of twist and strength in the legs, the belly, the root. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's just take one more. Make sure the spacing of the feet feels good. We're getting that squeeze of the hips together. And then exhaling. We're going to come down. Left hand to the ground for simple twist. Breathing in. Breathing out. You might wrap your right hand around the back of your waist, opening up your shoulder a tiny bit more as we take 3 deep breaths. And then exhale, bring that arm back up. We're going to press from the ground back the way we came. So coming through simple twist and coming back into your Prasarita stance, turning everything towards the back of your mat. Trust yourselves if you're facing away from me. You know where you're going. Right hand forwards, left hand back on twist on lunge. We're strengthening the legs. Strengthening through your middle as we kind of wring out the skin in 2 directions. And then as you breathe out, we're going to find the ground as lightly as you can. So you're using your core to keep you light. Right hand lands, left arm up into the air or around the back of the ribs. Just one last breath. We're going to release that left arm into the air, push down, come up the way you came, big open arms up to your Prasarita to your side. Good. This time we're going to start to turn your right set of toes forwards, move into your warrior two. Starting to warm up already. So you're getting a sense of the knee at the front really aligning on top of the front ankle or behind, never in front of that ankle. We're strengthening the legs, the hips are open here, the tailbone slightly tucked, so we're just preventing it from sticking out behind. Nice broad shoulders, breathing in and breathing out. So I want you to feel quite spacious and powerful in the chest here if you can, so there's a little strength in the reach of the arms. And let's start to ease that up, floating your front palm face up, reaching forwards and then up. I'm going to take this as a repeat today. So we paint this big wheel up into reverse warrior. Right hand comes around the shoulders, strokes that back out towards your fingertips. So we find strength in the reach, inhale. In your natural in-breath, there's a reach. And then in your out-breath, a release. And then a couple more. Steady at the roots, feeling that up to the belly if that's comfortable, as we take a deep stretch. This time as you come down, we're finding Prasarita, right elbow, right thigh, left arm up and overhead. If the thigh's a bit heavy going, you can be on the hand here, strengthening the legs. Keep your shoulders broad, ease into the face muscles today. And let's just rotate that left arm, just greasing up the shoulder just for 2 or 3 breaths more. We're going to start to push off your right thigh, spin gently your right foot forwards, and then exchange. So trust yourselves again, you might be facing away from me. You're in your warrior two. There's that tucked pelvis, sense of strength in the legs, lower body, root, and then stretching out through the arms. Empowerment in the chest. We're going to start to flip your left palm face up, lean away from your device, breathe in and up into the rib cage as you take reverse warrior, and let's repeat it again. So we release to the shoulder, back down to the fingertips and up. So you get a sense of warming up the belly, the ribs, the easing out the shoulder. One more big breath in to rise and out to release. And then we're going to take the left elbow to the left thigh or the hand to the thigh. Stretch out your whole right side in Prasarita. Let's take the last couple of breaths, maybe greasing up your right shoulder. So just a big kind of egg tug with the right arm. And then when you're ready, strengthen the legs and core, bring yourself back up and into your Prasarita. Good. So we're going to find our way all the way to frame your front foot, your right foot, now parallel on the feet. And just taking a moment to rock your weight forwards and back into your right foot to lift your left leg on your standing Hanumanasana. So your left leg's just floating, there's a sense of using the core and the hips as stabilized as possible, so try not to swerve in the hips as we drop the head. One big breath more. Exhaling, we're going to start to tuck your left knee behind your right to gently find your way down to the ground. So you're going to either end up in your Marichyasana with both legs bent, or if sometimes that's just a bit tight and we're laughing at ourselves trying to get there. If that's the case, we're just going to stretch that left leg out, toes towards the sky. So in either position, we're going to rise, just bring out the hips gently side to side, and just get your left elbow and see if you can catch that right shin. As you lift up through the chest, we're taking your tallest fingertips behind you on your right hand. So we've got a lot of space in the lower back as you move the chest gently to the right. As we take a couple more breaths, there might be one or two among you that want to go further. Don't feel that you must, but if you want to, we're reaching the left arm up outside the right thigh and moving with a pivoting energy through the elbow, still sitting as tall as we can. Try and keep that rise going all the way to your crown as we take another breath. Breathing in and breathing out to release. So we're going to take that extended leg back the way we came. And just for fun, we're going to see if we can end up in the same place together. Let's move our weight forwards so that we're on both sets of toes. We're going to stretch the hip bones up so you're taking a cross fiber stretch through the legs as you drop the head. And then just gently start to walk your hands to your left. So your feet are only going to spin, they're not going to move. You're walking your hands behind you as your feet keep spinning. You're walking your hands all the way towards the front of the mat, ending up with your right leg behind your left. If you didn't make it there, don't worry. Your left leg is over your right, and we're choosing whether to straighten that right leg out. Shifted the hips side to side, we're going to lift the chest. Catch your left shin with your right elbow. Find the lift and then the space that's coming through the center. Tall fingertips behind you to keep your back long and your shoulders low. So we want to find this twist, this glute space, the openness in the chest and that inner rise. And as you kind of arrive in this pose for yourself, wherever you're at, just feeling whether that's enough, or if you're feeling like you need a little more, you can take it with your right elbow, left thigh as a pivot. Give yourself that rising crown for one more breath. And exhale, let's release. So we're finding our way forwards again. Let's come back the way we came. So we're bending the right knee. We're going to find our way onto the toes. Lift the knees and just bow the head so you're in your cross fiber stretch the other side. And then when you're ready, just move your weight gently into your left leg and start rising your right. So you're in your standing Hanumanasana fold, dropping the head. When you're ready, step the feet underneath the hips and just have a little shuffle around so everything feels level. Take that forward fold at the front of your mat. We're going to take one last caressing roll up, so hands trace the feet, the shins, the knees slightly bend, we feel our thighs. We roll the hands either side of the hip bones, back of the head, maybe the hair. Nice and tall. This time come up onto your tippy toes. So you might be holding the hair at the roots if that feels good. And then exhale, releasing down. Release the arms open wide. This time we're going to take the hands behind us. Interlace or hands to elbows. Breathing in, let's open up the chest. And breathing out, we're going to fold forwards on really nice even hip bones. Stretching into your chest opener. Stretching up through the legs, and if there's any tightness here, just release the elbows so they're baggy, or even release the hands to the ground. One last deep breath. Exhaling, release the arms. So you might tickle the ground, but as you start to bring the hands forward, just sit down on your heels. So you're bringing the arms up and palms together. So we find that little balance on the feet. And then we're just going to dive the arms forward, sit bones back. See how gently you can land your tailbone. You can always use the hands come back any other way. Or you might be using those muscles through the feet, heels, hips to land the tailbone down. Let's separate the arms. Find your way under the thighs so you can pick up your lower back. Savasana. Floating those legs, we're in touch with the core. Maybe the hands are going to float if that's comfortable, or stretch out. And there might be a little tremble, and you might be warming up the sound of your breath, all stirring up that prana. So just getting that going for whatever we've got ahead of us today. Last 2 breaths. Last one. Inhaling, pick up the knees, give yourself a little rise. We're going to take a couple of soft rocks back towards your shoulders, so slightly rounded spine, and just rolling it to the shoulders and back up. So it's a little massage for your spine. As we take one more, we might empty your breath on a sigh. Bringing yourself up, let's take Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, a little shift of the hips. Maybe your hands are on your shins, ankles, or both feet if that's comfortable. So we don't have to push here. We can keep sitting tall. There's only really a feeling of yang in the lower back, the root and belly. And we can give our chest, our head, all of that yin energy to drop. And then just maybe catching the feet to draw you ever so slightly more into stretch if you want. Let's go for 3 of your deepest breaths so far. Breathing in, start to rise. Close up the knees. And find your way down to your half bridge. So we're going to land every vertebrae, palms face down, either side of the hips. And just start to shimmy your feet underneath your knees. Starting to engage the root and pelvis. Let's bring the pelvis off the ground. Find a stretch of your chest out of your shoulders. Option to interlace the fingers along the ground here if you like, to squeeze those shoulders closer together. Listen to the neck for your cue on that. Take it back if you need to. As we exhale, start to float your pelvis back down. Knees move up towards the chest to squeeze. Hands and feet into the air to rotate. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Last deep breath in. And then letting your elbows and your knees bend so everything becomes kind of heavy. We feel our back on the mat, and we're going to stretch all the way out and down to Savasana. Soften the face muscles. The root of the tongue can relax. Feel like your breath is moving a pathway up through the third eye to the crown. And then just let the breath take over, and we'll spend a few moments here in surrendering pose together. your breath gather a little bit more energy each breath in. And take the opportunity for your exhale to be a sense of release or relief. Let your body be even more effortless on the ground. And we'll start to wriggle the fingers and the toes away. Start to stretch your arms up above your head. So you're like a big yawn on the floor, pointing through the toes, making yourself really long on the ground, and then exhaling to flop your arms either side of the hips. Big breath out. Take the knees up towards your chest. Squeeze in. Before you roll over to your left, just take your knees down to the right so you're coming through a supine twist. A little ease out for the spine. Both knees center, and then over to your left. And then let your chest move left as well, so you're coming through your little curled up ball on your side. Starting to make your way up and into cross legs. And just take a little shift of your hips here. We're going to finish with the hands on the knees, taking your breath forwards in the chest. Gently up into the air, and then hanging out in a rounded space as you breathe out. And we're going to make this smaller. Breathe in, chest moves forward. Up and even gentler into a round space. Just one more time. This time as you sit tall, feel that movement inside. A gentle wave that rolls up the front of the body and down the back to our still tailbone. And one more time. Palms together towards the chest. Tipping chin to chest, honouring yourself. And then just rising and opening the eyes slowly. Take in whatever light is in your room. Find some colour to appreciate. Let's bow to each other. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. So take your sweet time getting back into your Monday, and I look forward to seeing you here or in class very soon. Ciao for now.